So this is the thyroid looping. So where your start is always in the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is, if you're looking at the brain in the anterior position, you're going to see it on the left-hand side. And if you're looking at it, you can see the cerebellum and the pons and the anterior pituitary, but I highlighted the hypothalamus so you can understand it. So in the process of the thyroid loop, what's going to happen is it's going to be released from the hypothalamus. This is the thyrotropin releasing hormone from the hypothalamus, and it's going to go through a hypophyseal portal system. So I kind of drew, you see it, a little portal system, and kind of an easy way to remember it is like, you know, the brain is the central part of all the body. It's like a little portal, like, I don't know, like a little, you're going through space, and it's like a portal system. You need to get to another dimension. So from the brain all the way to the thyroid, I think of it as like going through space, because it kind of just like goes in direct order. So then what's going to do is the thyrotropin releasing hormone is going to enter into the anterior pituitary gland. And it's kind of easy too, because you'll see it even says it in the word, the hormone. It's releasing into the anterior pituitary gland. And then once it hits the anterior pituitary gland, you'll be able to see the brain again. So if I bring it up a little bit more, you can kind of see that. Okay. So if you look at the brain again, just like this, with the pons right here, cerebellum, and the hypothalamus, if you're looking at the anterior pituitary gland, it's going to be in the anterior, so it's going to be right in front, and the posterior, so the anterior pituitary gland is the one that's going to create 6 hormones. And the posterior pituitary in the back, right here, hence why I didn't highlight it, is going to create 2 hormones. But one of the hormones right now is the thyroid stimulating hormone. So it's going to go through that hypophyseal portal system again, and it's going to release thyroid stimulating hormone. So if you think of it as the thyroid releasing hormone, or thyrotropin releasing hormone, is releasing in a little storage up in the hypothalamus to your anterior pituitary gland, and there it's stimulating there and goes to stimulate the thyroid gland. So it's kind of like this process of like a race. So once it gets to the thyroid gland, if you could see that a little bit, it's going to, let me see if I can get this camera a little bit better. Okay, then it's going to release T3 and T4 from the thyroid gland. And T3 and T4 are parafollicular cells in the thyroid gland, because the thyroid gland produces 2 hormones, the follicular and the parafollicular. And so, no, my mistake. The follicular cells make T3 and T4. They're the ones that need iodine in order to be produced. And so that's going to actually help out with people who, it's going to help us understand people who are have hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. So then if you look at the larynx right here, it's going to be anterior to the larynx. And so if you look at it, I kind of colored the thyroid. And so after that process, the T3 and T4 is going to release T3 and T4 into most cell bodies, because T3 and T4 cause an increase in basal metabolic rate. And so that is the process of the thyroid loop.